This is day 25 of reaching enlightenment. I always thought that chasing your dream or living an ordinary life, getting a job and all of this were mutually exclusive, as then you could only do one or the other. If you'd asked me, I would have said no, you could probably do both. But in a weird way, I thought that if you do the latter, if you get a job or whatever, you're giving up on your dream and it's basically over. And you would see this in the way I would talk to one guy, for example. I would tell him, bro, don't go to uni for a year and just do photography. Because I thought, well, if he goes to uni, he's not going to do photography, which might be right, because he's really good at photography and so on. But it was only recently when I was revisiting Phil Knight's autobiography, which Phil Knight is the founder of Nike, where he mentioned that he did not go full-time on Nike for 5 years. That means for 5 years, he would work basically full-time at Nike, 8 hours a day, but also had another job. And he had a wife, and he had kids. And that made me realize that, no, they're not mutually exclusive. And actually, for a lot of people, that's kind of what you're going to have to do. And that pairs in with another thing I read, which is that a lot of, well, some men, anyways, use the excuse of chasing their dream or working on their purpose, which might be like helping 1 million people cure their depression. I don't know, that's like an Instagram headline or description. Something like that, right? Their big purpose is actually fun. Maybe their purpose is being an artist. I want to make great painting, stuff like that. They use that as an excuse to not have a job and basically be a bum and not provide for the people that they should provide for. Family, and families, and like family, your parents, but also family, wife and kids. And so I realized that there's basically two ways to go about it. Because we all have a dream, and that's the other thing. That's the main thing, actually. A lot of people think that if you have a dream and you have ambitions, that needs to become your job, and it needs to become that immediately. Well, I don't know if a lot of people think that. I used to think that, in a weird way. But basically, the way I see it now is there's two main options, like two ways to go about it. Either you go full-time on your dream right now, like really lock in and make it work as quickly as possible. And obviously there's benefits to that where that's all you think about, you're really focused, which leads to more success, whatever. And I would do that if you have the opportunity to. For example, in my case, I'm still 17, and I only turn 18 in around 6 months. And basically, until I turn 18, given I'm not going to uni next year, could I move out? Yes, but it is kind of a nice excuse to stay at home for a little bit longer. My mom won't mind because she doesn't particularly want me to leave. And so it's nice to spend some more time with her before I eventually move out. And it's also kind of like a good excuse in a way to stay home longer, to really focus on this stuff, like my mission of reaching enlightenment, which is what really matters to me. But I know that even if nothing works out and I can't go full time on it by then, what am I going to do? I'm not just going to keep staying in her basement. Well, I don't live in her basement, but keep staying at home and not getting a job. I'm going to move out and get a job, or probably move out, get a job, but keep working on it. And so that's the thing. Either if you have the opportunity to, which is a wonderful opportunity, take it, even if it's just for a few months. Or if you don't, you get a job. This is what I would do. I would get a job, but continue working on it. And now a lot of people would say, oh, but what if I'm tired? Like, I can't go to work and then go back home and, like, work on my stuff. At that point, it's just a question of how badly do you want it. Like, does your dream matter to you enough, or your purpose matter to you enough to chase it, even if, yes, it's a little more uncomfortable? For some people, it won't be. I don't think that's fine. Well, they can do whatever they want. I think that's a bit embarrassing if you don't do something just because it's hard, especially if you're a masculine person who cares about their purpose. But yeah, so it's really just a question of how badly do you want it. And you would say, well, who the fuck are you to talk about this given you're 17? Now, is it completely the same? No. But for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been going to school and I get excellent grades. 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10 is my average. And I've always had the gym. I've been going to the gym consistently for 4 to 5 years. Well, consistently for like 2 to 3 years, but I've been going to the gym for 4 to 5 years. And I've basically always had some kind of business or side hustle that I've worked on, if not multiple. I started successful businesses, multiple of them. I've had jobs. So I've been able to do both. Now, is that entirely the same as having a job? No. But could I have used the excuse of, oh, but I'm tired when I go back from home from school and I have homework and stuff? I could have used that excuse, but I didn't. Because my purpose matters more to me than my comfort or my pleasuring myself. Above all, what I think is really a shame is people giving up on their dreams and the things that matter to them. I've seen this time and time again, that as people get older, they mature, and everybody's going to say, oh, no, when you get mature to, like, they literally told me this. I still like the guys, most of them, but they tell me, oh no man, I've just like grown mature and I realized all of that stuff is immature, and maybe in like 10 years I'll start my business that I've always wanted to start. It's not maturity, it's just cowardice. And it's, I mean, frankly, on a personal level, it is a little bit annoying to basically get lectured over and over again that just because I'm young, I don't know what I'm talking about, and once you grow up you'll realize that it's immature to chase your dreams. I don't think so. Replace dreams with purpose. Purpose, dreams. It means the same thing to me. I have stories of multiple guys that basically happen to. I've noticed that as they get older, they proportionally become less ambitious and more cowardly. They'd call it maturity. It's not. But anyways, if you don't know me, my goal is to reach enlightenment. This is day, what was it? 20. I'll be honest with you, if you've watched this far, it's not actually day 20. I'm recording this technically on day 4. But even then, I've been working on this for multiple months, so technically it's like day 200, 300, I don't know. But it just sounds cooler for the videos if I say this is day 20 something. That way it kind of seems chronologically correct. I think it's a white lie. It's okay. But at least now you know. I feel my conscience feels a little better now. No, it didn't particularly bother me, but it is the second video where I forgot what day it is at the end of the video. So I thought I'd mention it. Anyways, that is my mission. I basically share the journey and the things I learn along the way. That part is true, though. This is my journey, and these are the things I learned along the way. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.